Raul Jewelers is the proud sponsor of Raging Mouth, the Mike North story, coming soon. Welcome, everyone, to Mike North's Presser, brought to you by Raul Jewelers in Hoffman Estates. It's that time of the year where you got to get that special gift for that special someone. Raul Jewelers is located in Hoffman Estates on Barrington Road, right off the expressway. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They've got a great website, rawljewelers.com. For those of you listening on audio podcasts, it's RAHLjewelers.com, and their phone number is 847-765-3000. I see that Mike North is ready to take the podium. Let's go to him now. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
Always good. Happy holidays to Aldo Gandia, ladies and gentlemen. The Podfather, if you will. What a wonderful day. Where am I? Anyway, that's beside the point. I'm going to tell you right now. I see him laughing with this guy and that guy, Parisi, Gabriel. The man's busier than hell. I'm sitting in a chair every day going, was that a bird? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So now I get my, I'm on ESPN 1000 tomorrow. What's up, Joey Mandel? I'm exhausted from all the people that are dying lately that are celebrities, and somebody big just died.
I know.
I don't care what we're talking about. Norman Lear, Ryan O'Neal. I mean, from one guy to the next guy to this person to that person. But you know who's not there? The Chicago Bears, ladies and gentlemen. The Bears. I'm excited. I'm happy. I actually got to enjoy a game last week. I actually sat back. Diet Pepsi. Just watching. And some realizations came to my mind about the arguments and the debates that we've had over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And I'm going to dispel this today, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll take your questions. Okay? Number one, I'm going to make an announcement today that's going to shake the rafters.
Wow.
Yes. Of my basement, maybe. Or what have you. I'm in with Justin Fields. That's it.
Wow.
I'm in. I gave him like 8 games. I know he had some injuries, but I'll tell you why I'm in. Not because of what people may think. Been watching the league all year. I watched every game last week. I'm grateful for Justin Fields. Have you folks seen the other quarterbacks in football?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about we're going to get another Aaron Rodgers. We're not. We're not getting another Montana. We're not getting a Brady. We're not even getting a Randall Cunningham. But what we're getting is a little bit of excitement, a little bit of the unknown, a little bit of growth, some wins, a top 5 defense of late, special teams that are going well, and a quarterback that is beloved in the locker room. That's what I observed, just. I don't care what anybody else says. That they'll go to the wall for. So I'm sitting there last week, and I see him in the end zone with 4 guys around him. I said, he's dead. Dead. Then he wasn't. I see him a couple more times. He's dead. Dead. And then he wasn't. I started to look at the whole picture. There's no more Dan Marinos. That's over with, folks. There's never going to be quarterbacks like this Elways for the most part. That's over. It's hit or miss quarterbacks. Some weeks they're good. Some weeks they're bad. And that may be the way it's always going to be. Perfect example. With a little coaching, you can be and get better like Justin Fields is. Just like Tommy DeVito has gotten better. A month and a half ago, where was Fields? Where were DeVito? Where were they? One guy couldn't throw. He had 40 yards and a half. They laughed at him, said they got him from a touch football field in New Jersey. The other guy, including me, and I'm not wrong, can't throw accurate, misses guys. Then I figured it out last week. Every team's got a quarterback like this right now. I watched Minnesota's quarterback throw 4 interceptions. He stinks. Justin Fields is better. I watched Ritter from Atlanta. Justin Fields is better. And I'm not a Justin Fields guy. I'm a Justin Fields observer. I'll name you 10 more teams that wish they had Justin Fields. So I'm not going to be stubborn. Okay? So that's my first thing. I'm with them. And I don't want to hear people say, because I've been with them for the last month and a half. I said, I don't want Caleb Williams. Justin Fields is a 3-interception day against Cleveland from people wanting him again. The same people that wanted Justin Fields will want Caleb Williams, who's not even the best quarterback in college football. Whoever thinks he's a generational talent. I'm trying to figure out why he didn't win the Heisman again and why they're not in a bowl game, a playoff game. Because he's not. The other quarterbacks won the awards too. Penix. The kid from Oregon State, Bo Nix. These guys all won awards. Caleb Williams is not the guy, and I heard that for the last 3 weeks. So what I'm telling people is get off that. And when you get off that, you got to get off Getsy's ass because Fields has gotten better. There's nobody in America that's worth their damn weight in knowing football. If you're going to say, well, this is what I read. Well, let's keep Eberflus, but make him the defensive coordinator. Let's get rid of Getsy and bring in Ben Johnson. I watched Ben Johnson the last few weeks. He's nobody special, folks. He was. He's like everything else at Detroit. Overrated. Because guess what? Getsy pantsed him. Pantsed him this past week. Made him look like a child. So I'm sticking with Getsy as the head coach. I mean, Getsy is the offensive coordinator. I'm sticking with, can I call? This is my guy now. Flus. And I don't want it. I hear these guys on these radio stations. I don't want them to keep winning. I don't want a middle. There's a reason there's a middle school. At some point, a team progresses or a child progresses from kindergarten to middle school, you dope. Then you get to the next level. The Bears are in middle school and passing with honors. So Poles, Eberflus, and Getsy come back. Oh, well, wait, let's get what? If you get rid of Getsy, get rid of Fields. Because Getsy will be another offensive coordinator that may not know as much as Getsy. He's improved under Getsy. You can't give one guy credit without the other guy. So get off your high horses, because my vote is for them to stay next year. That's it. And the Bears are playing good football, competitive football, and everybody wanted Eberflus gone a month and a half ago. Well, then watch now. And be fair. That's all I'm asking. Oh, and one more thing before we get to your questions. God, this has been a pleasant thing because I'm taking turns. I'm not around going into my 32nd year on regular radio and on the bar room. One of the great Bear vehicles in all podcasting, because I don't know what I'm talking about. They're not going anywhere, folks. None of them. None of them. And if they're getting better and you don't like that and you want Bill Belichick to come in or anybody else, it's not going to happen. They're showing improvement. They're in games. They're winning games now. And this Fields kid, the reason I like him is because he's likable. One, I didn't think he would be. He busts his ass. I don't know how long he's going to last, but he wants to win bad. And I know all about those traits. And he's an underdog. And the pressure's been on him, and he's delivered. But one more thing before I go on. And I want Eldo to stay out of this because I know he'll take my side. Although I want to see your picture here because we've been friends for a long time.
Okay. You got it.
As far as Mitch Trubisky is concerned, I'm done with him too.
What?
Done with him. You know why? Doesn't do any good. People don't listen. I don't want to keep going back. And then there's people that will egg me on. And Eldo, I want you. We're partners. So Eldo's the main guy. He's the podfather, but I'm a minority partner. But I want to address whoever works bar rooms with her. Okay? Eldo, please stay out of this. I know you know who does it. And you're not going to let anybody cheapen your partner or anything. If we find out who's doing it, we're going to have a problem. So I'd rather not. So anyway, I see on Twitter last week, Trubisky's 5-12 in his last 17 starts. I go, here we go. I was minding my own business. I don't bring up Trubisky. Then I go, yeah, whoever it is, and tell him, Eldo. Mike doesn't usually call people out, but he's my buddy, and I got to admit, well, Fields is 3-14 his last 17 starts.
Yes.
So then some other guy goes, and yeah, so that's the first knockout. So whoever did it, Eldo, tell him I'm sorry at the bar. I tried to, we're our team, but it sort of hurt me right here. Then another guy goes, yeah, but he's even wrong. Mitch is 9-8. So it was a double knockout. So all I'm asking is, please don't egg me on, because every time somebody says something on Twitter from now on about Mitch, well, I won't even mention him now. I'll say, see, Eldo, what's going on? Barroom, and Eldo won't come to my defense.
I love it, Mike.
Everybody's next now. Let's bring it together. Yeah. Taurine and Johnny and Jimmy and Joyce and Tommy and Bobby. No, I'm not the head of the Musketeers. I'm the head of the Floose and the Justin Field. Or is it Eby or Ebby? Let's go. Come on, Cleveland.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm happy now.
Mike, you're absolutely right. And it was, I have to take blame. I mistakenly put up, I was wrong. I was watching
Mr. Whoa, wait. You? Wait a minute. All right, go ahead.
I mistakenly put up Mitch's one-loss record over his 17 games.
And my blood pressure went up immediately.
Yeah. And so Mike responds, I did it at night, so I'm thinking he's asleep. He'll never see it. No.
There's a bell that goes off when Mitch's name is mentioned. Yeah, baby goes, is it time to get up? I go, no. Somebody's typing something in at Mitch. Honey, it's 2:00 in the morning. I don't care.
That's hilarious. So I mistakenly put up he was 5-12 in his last 17 games. The mistake that I made is that I counted the games where Mitch wasn't the starter. He was benched in favor of Nick Foles. And so those were all losses, all those games that Nick Foles started. And I mistakenly attributed them to
It's okay,
Mitch.
Because you know what? Eldo, I made it public. I'm a Bear fan, number one, and Eldo's known that forever. I love the Bears. I think they're on the right track. And I don't give a damn if somebody thinks that Eberflus still deserves to be fired. What have you been watching?
Mm-hmm.
He's out coaching goddamn that lunatic at Detroit. That was up for coach of the year a month and a half ago, along with Ben Johnson, who was up for offensive coordinator, who Eberflus out-coached. And on top of Goff, who a month and a half ago, I brought up on this show on AM 1000 that he was a really dark horse for MVP. He stinks too. The Bears kicked their ass, and their defense is unbelievable. And then I hear Sweat, and this is why you got to have an open mind when you talk Bear football.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew Sweat was a great pickup right away. Yet general managers or former general managers like Mike Lombardi think he's a bad pickup, and that's all over. I got in a discussion with Mike about Sam Darnold. I said he's no Trubisky, and that's the truth.
Right.
So don't even try to compare the two. And I haven't talked to him since because I'm not a guest that goes on the show. We talked about this, although that's just going to say, oh, okay. Well, his mistake about Sweat was twofold. He's got the potential to be a Dent-like guy. Okay. And Dent took time off, took plays off. Even Butkus said, you watch him during some plays, he just took. But you're a former general manager, and you don't know what a player of that ilk means to the rest of the line. That's what he missed. You're not paying for just Sweat. You're paying for his impact on the other guys. They all got better. And their run defense is as good as anybody's. Big mistake by Mike Lombardi on that whole situation.
Yeah. John Falsetta reminds us that Mike Lombardi drafted Jamarcus Russell and Johnny Manziel, two of the biggest first-round quarterback busts ever.
Who I really thought Manziel was going to work, but I never thought Russell was going to work. No. I was on from day one. So, well, that's why. And you know what? I don't have anything. He makes news, but believe me, when I saw that he panned Marquez Sweat because of money, that's a typical NFL executive.
Yep.
Typical,
exactly.
Period.
Exactly. And then doesn't understand the Chicago Bears salary cap situation where they have the money, and this was a great investment. We're seeing guys who have not played well in the Bears defensive line now playing well since the arrival of Sweat because he's getting double teamed and so much attention.
Don't try to talk Chicago Bear football with me. I don't care what your credentials were with the NFL. I could care less. I have credentials too. I lived here my whole life. I know what the impact of a defensive lineman can make or an offensive lineman. I mean, Jimbo Covert made that whole Bear offensive line. He was the standard that the 85 Bears went by, as great as Van Horn was, as great as Hilgenberg was.
Yeah.
He was the tough guy on that team in the Hall of Fame. And you have to have a guy like that. And the Bears didn't have one. I mean, they had one for a short time. And what's his name? The kid from Dallas. He's forgotten now, but I forget his name. But
yeah, he really is forgotten. Jeez.
Right? He had one good year. Somebody gave it to us. I forget who it is because that's how bad. But Sweat's that guy you can build a defense with, and you need some impact up.
Yeah. It's funny that you brought up Mike Lombardi, and before you did, Josh Brown put this up. Mike, I read an article yesterday where Mike Lombardi called Mitchell Trubisky MVP Mitch, saying the Steelers are not using him correctly. And this, you applauded the Bears coaching staff, but I got to tell you, I think that Matt Nagy, when he was coaching Mitchell Trubisky, and
I didn't applaud him.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I didn't applaud Matt Nagy because you see what's happened to Kansas City.
Yes. Nagy and now Tomlin, I don't think they're using Mitch in the way that he should be used. Your comments.
Well, first of all, they show Pickett up there like he was Terry Bradshaw. He's not. They're having trouble with their wide receivers because they're not disciplined and they cause problems in the locker. There was trouble starting last year. They shouldn't have benched Mitch to begin with. But, that's a story for the way that Mitch has been used since his whole career, yet he overcame that. There's an old tweet that somebody sent, how historic a quarterback is Mitch Trubisky that he has a winning record with Nagy. And now I don't think I'd ever hire Nagy to be anything. And look what happened at Kansas City. I know Bieniemy's going to get a chance maybe to be a head coach for Washington, maybe, or somebody else, because it's not going to work out. But, he's proven in a way that he had to get away. And Nagy, got away and probably got what Bieniemy deserves, a head coaching job. And Bieniemy's still waiting, and Nagy is still trying to get another head coaching job when you have Mahomes now in the quarterback room losing his mind all of a sudden, acting unprofessionally. I don't care if it's the first time ever. I remember Len Casper saying this, and we'll take your phone calls, folks, if you want. Not your phone calls, but that's a habit. We'll take your questions. I remember Len Casper after Zambrano threw the ball into the stands with anger one day, into the bleachers in anger. And he promised to be better. And Zambrano pitched 2 good games in a row. He goes, well, he's really been behaving himself. Well, because things were going good. What happened when things went bad? He went ballistic again. Now you're seeing Mahomes with the pressure of wanting to be the best, seeing maybe in front of his own eyes they may not be the best, or they got their minds on other things. Happens every Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
It does. And they don't look like a Super Bowl team now. They still got him. I love him. And I think he's that's a generational quarterback, not Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And so I love his competitiveness. And I will confess, anybody that knows me that competed against me, if we got a call against us like that, I would have done the same thing. I would have been at the officials. I would have. But I'm not Patrick Mahomes, so he's going to be more under a microscopic glass, if you will. But like I said, he's once in a generation. These other guys, 2 of my favorite quarterbacks just to watch for excitement now, because it's a college quarterback game more than a pro quarterback game, is DeVito and Fields. And you know what? Look up Brett Favre interceptions. I thought Fields kept clean last week. Didn't turn over the ball. Finally got smart, got rid of it once in a while, still holds on to it too often, as you heard throughout the telecast. Then I watched DeVito that night. I go, okay, this is how it's going to be. It used to be the Sox. And folks, please, you can let the radio guys or whoever podcasters steal some of these terms. Just say you heard it on the Bear Bar Room, Mike North Presser with Aldo Gandia.
Brought to you by Rao Jewelers.
Oh, God. I'm going there next week. Don't tell Rand.
Okay.
I got to buy somebody something. But I think it's going to be, and I said on Twitter last week, good Justin, bad Justin. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a fumble. Bears win 16-13. I don't care. I think that's what's going to happen. You can't put it in the hands of a rookie again. Don't do that to me, because I'll just lose my mind. Caleb Williams, nobody knows Aldo. I don't want to hear it. I saw him. He can't do what Justin Fields can do. He can't. And the running is the thing. If Justin Fields couldn't run, and then I see DeVito make a pass, I'm still waiting for that pass he made in that game the other night. Something was unbelievable.
Yeah.
In the clutch. And that's what I got to see Justin Field do. But I don't care what happens this week. I don't want to hear any more quarterbacks' names. It's driven me nuts. And Mitch is off my docket, too. I'm a Chicago Bear guy. That's a long time ago. And you know what? I think Mitch is going to be in this league for 15 years and make $100 million, baby. So that's my opinion.
We wish him luck, because he is a good person.
And tell the guy in the Twitter handle, knock it off.
Aldo, knock it off. Okay, sir. Vince read that same article that Josh was referring to, and Vince is saying that Lombardi was being facetious. He was joking because some guys bet Mitch as MVP in 2018, and Mike Lombardi was breaking balls.
Well, where did Sam Darnold fit in for MVP? That was my gripe with them.
Right.
I was never going to let any grown-ass man tell me Sam Darnold was better than Mitch Trubisky. Even Bear fans that didn't like Mitch will stand up for him there. We'll stand up for him there. Period. End of story.
Right. Well, I don't want to bury the lead here, as I say in the newspaper business. The lead is that Mike North has now proclaimed himself to be a Justin Fields guy, which is phenomenal news. And what is the one area about Justin Fields' game that you would love to see him take a big leap, maybe in these next 4 games, or maybe next season?
There's 3 things I think Justin's got to do.
Okay.
1, get rid of the ball just a little quicker. And for that's when I said Bagent knew how to play the position better. That's why he's 2-2. He don't have the ability of Justin Fields. He just has the progressions down. He wasn't afraid to throw deep. Only Heath was used to throwing to Division 3 guys or 2 guys. So he'd be a little behind. Took him time to adjust. So I want Justin to get rid of the ball faster. I want Justin, and if you ever shoot, what's beautiful about, and I'm glad they don't use it a lot, it's just not good to watch it from that angle all the time. They do the behind Justin Field camera.
Yeah.
And sometimes I saw Komet. He was like with the lanterns. I mean, like Paul Revere. There's nobody around me. Please throw the ball to me. So sometimes he misses on guys. Sometimes he misses on guys. And sometimes he decides to run too soon. So he's caught in that middle. But I'll tell you what. I saw him get out of the end zone on that one play, and I thought he was going to take a safety. And everybody remembers it. Sorry. He got out of there. Then I saw him get out of 2 other things. I go, they're not going to – Caleb Williams will not be as good as Justin Field. And I wasn't a Justin Field fan. But don't go playing that with me. Don't go play. I've been watching football since Christ was a child. Don't – are you out of your mind? Caleb Williams. Notre Dame held him to 20 points. I've been watching the Bears and pro football. Patton was a corporal. Are you up to your mind? I mean, come on. I've been watching football since Queen Elizabeth was Princess Elizabeth. Come on.
I love it. I love it. All right. You also said, let's not get rid of the coaching staff. Let's keep Luke Getsy as the offensive coordinator. Right. Midway Monster says, growing pains with Getsy as a first-time play caller. I understand. He's learning on the job, but he's still, according to Midway Monster, still on probation. What would you like to see? You talked about the 3 things you want Justin Fields to improve on, and I don't think you finished your list. Getting rid of the ball.
I was getting rid of the ball quickly, understanding the progressions and not wanting to run so quickly.
There you go.
Sometimes, but see, here's the whole deal. I'm watching Joe Flacco, do things that he's 38. And he's saying, he came right back and he was shopping with his wife when they called.
How about it?
So there's things that you still got to learn if you're Justin Fields. But as long as he's got this escapability and can keep healthy, it's made him palatable for me because I think that it's more realistic when you're a running quarterback that you got a better chance at 3rd and 7 than a guy that stands in the pocket. I swear to God, I watched this kid, Herbert. This poor kid can only put up 17 points a game. And I heard Evan Cohen say this. It was interesting, but I don't think I would ever do this. Evan Cohen, who's got a show on the radio, and he said Justin Herbert for the Bears' first pick. And then the Chargers would take Caleb Williams. And then the other guy said, no way. Canty said, no way. Justin Herbert's that good. I would ask Bear fans, would you give up the number 1 pick for Justin Herbert? I would have to say yes. No matter what. And yet he can't get 17 points. And we're, looking at a guy that's going to be out of the playoffs while Justin Fields still has an outside chance on games that they blew, the coaching staff and him and the team. They all did it. They all talk about the regrets now, but they learned from it.
Yeah.
So, and then I saw Ebby. That's what I call Ebby. Or Ebby. Flus. I saw Flus, like I said earlier, take Ben Johnson, the next big genius, and make him look what? Like you're a peewee football coach compared to me. I did. And this guy's the head coach and the defensive coordinator getting it done. And Getsy has to get better like anybody else. Getsy's got to call more rollouts, I think. I think he did this past week. But, I saw that Justin Field got a blame a couple times too. So there's got to be a happy medium. But I think if you can rush Justin Field 7 to 8 times a game, especially for first downs, I mean, if it's 4th and 2, I like him as good as any pocket passer to get a first down. But it also depends on the play calling.
Interesting.
I'm having a strong game, and then I got to hear interesting after all that from you. I didn't know you ran the Twitter handle, by the way.
I put my name on it recently.
I didn't see it.
Josh.
I didn't want to believe it.
Josh says that LaShawn McCoy, the former star running back, is raving about Caleb Williams that he can do no wrong. What do
Well,
you
can
say?
somebody explain to me something? If he can do no wrong, how come I saw him do all sorts of wrong against Notre Dame? If he can do no wrong, how come I saw him lose 2-3 games? If he can do no wrong, how come he didn't win the Heisman? If he can do no wrong, how come Penix won the Maxwell Award for quarterback? If he can do no wrong, how come the other quarterbacks apparently who were doing wrong won the awards this year? And then he went and cried in his mommy's arms. I'm a kid that's old school. I don't care if you play 16-inch softball. If you played racquetball, handball, yeah, that's a sport that died in the 50s, but I was around. If you played any kind of sport as a kid, and you, or even in your 20s, we played softball championships. Sometimes when we were in our early 20s, all our parents came out. We had a neighborhood team. I can't imagine crying in my mother's arms. Because first of all, my dad would have grabbed me like this. Said, get your ass back on the field. Quit acting like a you-know-what. Bang. I can't even imagine it. And everybody's going, and they want to put their eggs in that basket. I'll take the kid, Justin Fields, who's been taking a beating, gets up, apologizes to his team a couple times, saying it was my fault. And then he did the thing with the shoes, and he's got the foundation. He's a good guy. The other day he says, you know what? I don't blame people for being mad at me. Mike North takes all this stuff in. If he starts blaming other people like Aaron Rodgers, maybe Mike North goes the other way. But I listen to what this kid says. He seems like a pretty good leader to me. Let's see what.
Excellent. All right. Is that better than interesting?
Oh, man.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank God.
And Mike, we've got a guy.
You always tell me before the show, you say, Mike, I'll tell you, the way you prepare is uncanny. Yeah. Well, no, you don't say that to me, but sometimes just go ahead and say it. Okay. Yeah, let's go with more. What's wrong? Mike agrees with Field. Mike agrees with Eberflus. Mike agrees with Getsy. Mike don't care if they show improvement. Mike thinks they could be a playoff team next year. Mike thinks they could be a playoff team this year. Am I ruining everybody's fun now? Nobody's got any questions when things are positive, do they? Is my toupee crooked?
No, it's looking. It looks so real, Mike. It's unbelievable.
Early Bobby Rydell.
We've got a guy who visits all of our shows, but he loves visiting this one and a couple others. His name is Don Burr. He is a Detroit Lions fan. Big time.
Bring him on. I can't wait for him.
Yeah, he says, I got a question. Ask Mike, how does he go 3 years hollering, Mitch, 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 Justin, no, and now he's a Justin mascot.
I have fought for 4 years for this guy, and I think I've done all right. He's still in the league. He signed a $20 million deal. He's not being started by Tomlin until Tomlin basically told the kid, well, the kid's got a bad ankle, and he can't run. But he was only scoring 10 points a game. Mm-hmm. But I'm just tired. I'm a Bear fan. That happened. I'm mad about Greg Olsen still. I'm mad about Greg Olsen that they gave him away. I'm mad about Rokon. I'm mad about David Montgomery. But then I just saw him lose. And I see the Bears getting better, unlike the Lions, who once again last week I said it. The last time you won, Don, really, they said, you think a face mask would be the answer for a football helmet? You think we should give that's when you last won. You look up Bobby Lane. There's no face mask. There's no emblem. They didn't even have emblems yet. You know what they said? Someday we're going to paint a lion on the side. Oh, that's uncanny. Now they got emblems. Don't tell me. The last time they won a title was in Tiger Stadium. Okay?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Don Burr's got so much nerve. The Lions are a fraud. They're a fraud.
Yeah, and I think it's the Bears
and Campbell,
exposed.
Well, yeah, but he sunk their ship when he punted from his own 30 a week or two ago. Only a moron does something like that. Come on.
He does a lot of moronic decisions. Oh, my
God. Hold on. I watch them all. And I see a team, the Lions, that were heralded like the Chiefs a month and a half ago. And floosed them. That's the new thing. We floosed them again.
I love it. Usami says, I fired up breakfast, but it hasn't lit a fire like me, like Mike has.
I get paid to do. This is my deal. And I did it for nothing on the street corners, Thorndale and Glenwood. Guys by the name of Ace, Corny, Gels, Kates, TB, Billy Norwood. You guys all listen to the show. You're still going, most of you. Well, we've had some deaths, but what are you going to do? You got to keep moving, right? I'll say this. I did it for nothing when I was 10. And you know what? I will never lose my passion to do this. It's because it's what I love. And then we throw in the gambling element, you know. And I'm the first to tell you, I put my money against the Bears a few times. I did it this past week. I went 2-2 in the odds couple. I bet the Lions -3.5, and I got my ass kicked. Moose out-coached his ass.
Indeed. Indeed. Excellent.
Now they say fleeced them. Somebody 2 weeks from now, Laura Oakman or somebody on the sidelines will say, well, the new term is fleecedom brought on by so-and-so. And I'll be at home going, we said it on the bar room a month ago. Fleecedom.
Yep. There you go. I love it. Let's get back to the topic of Getsy, because I think there's still a lot of fans who are out on him, but you're in on him. John Falsetta says that Danny Shimon on one of our shows says that the Bears should hire a senior offensive analyst to help Getsy, somebody like a Jim Caldwell or a Frank Reich. What do you think?
No. Jim Caldwell, Frank Reich just got fired. I know he didn't want that quarterback. He wanted the other guy.
Right.
I like them. I respect them both, but I don't need that voice. I let these guys grow on their own. They're young coaches. Getsy's learning every day. That they don't seem to listen to the fan base. Eberflus had the greatest sigh of relief I've ever seen a Bear coach have. He went literally on the screen, Aldo, as they were walking off together. And I said this was a huge game for them, and they came through. And I'm not pulling the rug from under them because certain plays aren't called. You won that football game convincingly against a team that's going to be probably representing that division. And don't tell me they can't win that division. I watched the Green Bay quarterback the other night. I'd rather have Fields. I watch Goff. Who knows how long he's going to last? Okay, start looking at the tea leaves here, folks. Don't play your prejudices. Okay, that's it. I look at what we got. I love Bajan as the backup, but if you want to bring in a veteran, go ahead. I love that kid. You know, I love what he did. That's a great story, 2-2. And he's Fields and him support each other. When he won, I saw Fields walk up to him. And it was Atlanta, I think, y'all. And I saw Fields do, they gave each other the 5-5, and Fields gave him. That takes a man to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That takes a man to do that. I see a lot of good qualities that now I'm starting to see come out. I saw Sweat talk about the head coach saying that everybody's got his back in the room. So I think they're all coming back.
Chris Watts says that he has a friend at school. He has a really big head, and his nickname was Sniper's Dream. Okay, other questions we got here. And they're pouring in.
I'll tell you what, the big head can always get you. You know that.
Yes, indeed. John asks, would you take Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first pick overall if they can't make a trade?
First of all, let me compliment. I mean, it's not going to get out. People think I've been anti-Bear my whole life. No, I'm anti-bad management and bad coaching and bad players. And I think I've been right on the dot. Since 92, almost every time. We haven't been in the playoffs a whole lot. We had the one Super Bowl, which is amazing, which nobody still does. Like my mother. I told my mom I got a job at this sports radio station. Then she heard, she goes, she instead of saying, "Oh, son, it's so wonderful. God, I always knew you had it." No, not my mom. My mom was dealing out the pancakes phone. How'd you do this? That's a 2000. Wait a minute. Back to 2006 Bears. How did they do this? Devin Hester had a big part. Of course, they outlawed his position for the most part. So people want him to be in the Hall of Fame for an outlawed position, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, what a stupid rule. It should be reinstated. The pass interference rule is a bad rule. Should get not a spot foul. You shouldn't have a 60-yard penalty. If you have a kickoff inside the field, it's not in the end zone, you got to run it. You got to run it. Quit being wusses. You got to run it. And the pass interference rule. But we got in with Rex Grossman. So I think if we have that defense, that Jalen Johnson, will you keep doing it once you sign that big deal?
Yeah, better.
You're hungry now, and you turned him down, and you keep performing. It could have gone the other way. Bears going to have to sign him. Period. He's a good one. He's a good one too.
Yeah.
They need better hands. They should have 3-4 more interceptions. The reason you play defensive back is because you can't catch.
PZ asks, do you think that Justin Fields' hesitation to step up in the pocket could be because of his escapability?
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt about it. When you can escape like that, the worst thing you can do is run back into the teeth. Okay? Now, they may seem like they're open, but these guys can close on you quick. Right. With that kind of talent, he's looking to run. There's no doubt a lot of times. Maybe he doesn't believe. And if he doesn't see something open right away, he does get a little impatient because of that talent. There's no doubt about it. But that's just the way it is. And it's going to be good Justin, bad Justin, and I'll live with it. I'm going to live with it, period.
All right. A question outside the world of football, and it comes from Taurine. You're going to love this one. What do you think about the Lakers hanging a banner for winning the in-game tournament this season?
I hung up my summer school diploma. It was awesome. Yeah.
Summer school diploma.
Yeah, I was valedictorian of my summer school class, and they gave me a diploma. Congrats, Mike, finally passing what's something you should have passed in June, and you did as good as anybody. I think it's a joke. I know that they added it to his resume because here's what I'll say. Jordan would have won that tournament every year.
Uh-huh.
That stupid tournament would have been won every year by one man and one man.
Yep.
You're reading it. Yep. Who would have beaten him? I mean, maybe the Lakers sneak in once, but once he became the powerful, all-knowing, great superstar that he is,
yeah.
So it's an opportunity to, and I did like the tournament. I'm not going to lie, because it gives me opportunity to bet the games and stuff like that. And it did have some more intensity. These guys sweat. I mean, I saw these guys sweat like it was 1970, in 1980. They were playing for their basketball careers every year. Bill Russell used to sweat. Chamberlain. These guys, and look at the Greek Freaks lost his mind. Draymond Green lost his mind. The competition was good, but I knew it doesn't mean anything to me, the tournament. But if he wants to hang his hand, he did win it. And the Pacers, all the small market teams were giving them trouble.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here come the Lakers with two great players. Anthony Davis has been on fire.
Yeah, he has. Back to football question. Big Juve Bank. Big Juve. Big Jeff. No, I don't. He doesn't look Jewish to me, but he could be. You never know. Sammy Davis Jr. was Jewish. He doesn't look
Jewish, but then Sammy Davis was Jewish.
That's what I just said. So he asked, why does it seem like the national media dislikes the Bears and Fields?
First of all, they love Justin Fields. Everything. I mean, part of the battles have been against Dan Orlovsky. Have been against Brian Baldinger. But Baldy's pretty. He's a quarterback friendly analyst. Yeah. He doesn't break down the plays that don't work, but he'll give a guy and somebody like Fields ammunition. He gave Tommy DeVito great praise. And by the way, God, I love it. He threw that ball and Baldy broke it down. He goes, I don't care what kind of quarterback you are. That throw in the clutch was as good as anyone he's ever seen. Yeah. So I think the national media, although I think I've been tough on him at times because not many people have, but you know what? He's handled everything. And that I give him credit for. It's hard to do because I hear people, the criticism of Fields, and sometimes I know these same people. in the media, including myself, that take criticism, that don't like it, and it's hard to do.
Yeah, sure.
You try to shrug off most of it, but Fields, started to get some heavy criticism, and I think he's passed the test so far.
Mm-hmm. And I think that.
Mm-hmm. That's our old bit from like 6 years ago.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think Bankroll could be referring to Bankroll. I don't want to mispronounce his first name. His last name, at least.
Why the hell did it say that?
Yeah, exactly. Big Juv Bankroll. Anyway,
okay.
I think what he's referring to
I don't think it's Juv.
Yeah, Big Juv. I don't.
Come on, be careful. Would you come into my office, please?
HR wants to see.
Did I hear after I listened to the tape 10 times? You said it, didn't you? No. Wait. Human resources.
Get down here right away.
They're out to lunch. Anyway. So Big Juv.
He's
a big juvenile. That's
there you go. That's
Can I tell you something? I was up at 5 this morning like a child arguing with people on Twitter. I'm 71 years old, for Christ's sake. My God, I just love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I think what it is that the national media, if you're going to include yourself in the national media, then you are definitely in the minority about keeping Fields and not drafting Caleb Williams. 99% of the people in the national media are saying, move on from Justin Fields.
No way, baby. Now he finally gets to a point where we're winning some games.
Yeah.
Now he's got to become Patrick Mahomes. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Never.
It's
going to be good Justin, bad Justin.
Yep.
Are we going to ever have a Herbert? I don't know. But I wouldn't take my chance with this crop. Remember who they were throwing to in the Pac-12. These kids were transferees.
Yeah.
Williams came from Oklahoma. Nix came from Auburn. Penix came from Indiana. They go to the Pac-12. They go, where are the defenders? Oh, they're out there somewhere. And they just riddled the Pac-12. They went to the easy league. Yep. Period. Yep. And then when I hear, and Eldo knows this argument, I've made it since the 90s. And it's only grown. It's only grown. Name me your generational talent alone from USC. Not
Carson Palmer.
That's not generational. He was good. He got hurt. It set him back. He was on his way, maybe. But he was forgotten with the new guy who's hurt now and who's been replaced by some kid, Stick, who's won 3 straight or 2 straight and looks as good. Now, all I'm going to say is that every quarterback, I watched the kid from Minnesota, the kid that came in, that was the quarterback for them when he came in out of nowhere. They drew up the plays on the sideline.
Yeah.
Josh, somebody.
McCown.
No.
Not McCown.
That was no.
Josh Allen, Josh, there's another Josh, and I always get him confused.
Came from Arizona.
Yes. Josh. No.
Somebody will write it.
Yeah. Come on, help us out, chat room. I know you can do it, Andre.
Minnesota quarterbacks down there. We'll wait. I want to see this because this guy's stuck.
Josh Rosen. Thank you, John Falsetta.
Not Josh Rosen. Who's the guy? Who's the guy quarterbacking him now?
Josh Allen in Buffalo?
No, in Minnesota.
Oh, Josh Dobbs.
Yes.
Thank you, Ken P. Thank you, Josh.
Josh Dobbs stinks. And it was worth waiting for me to say that. So hopefully you can show this to, I want to show this to his whole family. Your son stinks. Okay? Stinks. They threw 4 receptions in the first half. And then the other kid, Mullen, comes in and gets the job done. Okay? To the family, to the Dobbs family. He stinks. Okay? And whatever money he's bringing home, God bless. That's all I can say. Yeah, he's just and then I watch these other quarterbacks, Ritter. These guys, I mean, they're all just middle guys.
Yeah.
I like Stafford's still a great quarterback.
Yep.
See, I think if Herbert or Stafford, these guys, I'd take them on the Bears in a heartbeat. We're not going to get them. So now what's available? You know who I sort of like as a backup?
Who?
The kid that was quarterback for Notre Dame, he's not good enough to be a starter. Hartman.
Sam Hartman.
Hartman. Yep. I like him as a fifth or sixth round guy. I think he'll be around. He's a Notre Dame guy. They did improve under him from the last quarterback they have. He knows how to play the game. Don't bring anybody that's going to impede the progress anymore of Fields, but bring in somebody that can take over. I love Bagent. So I think the thing we got is draft picks too. Yeah. I want Harrison, number one, and then I want to build the lines. Do you trade your picks? We'll see what happens. But Poles has so far impressed me this year with the DJ Moore pickup. Very good. Moore's become a stud. Like it's fun to see a guy get picked up and actually come through and sweat.
How about it?
Poles is sort of like, Poles is starting to pass the bar now.
Yes, he is. All right. We love to close the show with our new segment called How Dare You? And Mike has 3 of them, 3 fresh How Dare Yous today. Mike North, take it away.
All right. The first one goes out to Steve Kerr, who's always there to lecture other teams and other parties, if you will, other players that cause problems and saying, you know what, so-and-so Marcus Smart shouldn't have done this, or this guy did that. Yet he didn't see the tape of just an abhorrent assault, a criminal assault on another player, okay? Draymond Green, okay? But Steve Kerr, to be the blind man all of a sudden, and you know what? Steve hits me the wrong way sometimes, and he used to hit me the right way all the time. But he hits me wrong. If it's by thee or by you, bad you. But if somebody that I'm associated with, I didn't see it. To Steve Kerr for encouragement of the behavior of an arch criminal. That's what he is. How dare you? Same one. Same thing. To Draymond Green. You cheap shot. You POS. You've had 3 incidences this year alone. Have had nothing but ejections your whole career. Adam Silver finally did the right thing. Now, even Steph Curry is fed up with you. The organization's fed up to you. Nobody stood up from the organization saying it's unfair. You cost this team. Actually, you cost this team a championship. Just like Rasheed Wallace did years ago when he got kicked out of the game in a key situation. You're nothing but a weight around their neck now. You've lost some of your skills, and now you cheap shot people. I've been cheap shotted twice in my life. I'm not saying, it's happening. You hang out in enough bars, you hang out with enough dudes, things are going to happen. But cheap shot, people who don't receive them don't understand. You're big enough to take care of yourself. And today I was proud to say that even a little half pint like Norm Van Leer would have kicked your ass back in the day and then tagged off to Jerry Sloan. Because somebody in this league, I don't know who it is, has to stand up and give you a pink flag. So, to Draymond Green, how dare you? And last but not least, to the players on Nurse team, to Phoenix, who stood there and did nothing. Just pointed to the ref. Very short. What kind of teammates are you? Was anybody a man in that situation to stand up for an assault like that? Absolutely not. To the team, to his teammates, how dare you?
Oh, yes. That was awesome, Mike.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that would hurt me more if my teammates didn't stand up for me, because I used to stand up for my teammates.
Yep.
So that was the thing that disturbed me more than even the assault. He's an arch criminal. He'd get his ass kicked by Mahorn. Number one, John. Number one. That's the problem. There's no Mahorn. There's no Jeff Rulin. Back when Washington, this is great. They're moving. Tony Kornheiser goes off yesterday. How dare they? Well, Tony, you've been there for 44 years, you said. You've never paid for a ticket. Okay? How dare they? Did you see the stats for crime? People, if I owned a business, I'd want out of there too. Okay? Let me tell you something. Will Chamberlain in 1971 was going to fight Ali, and people gave him a puncher's chance. Okay? Maurice Lucas would have kicked his ass. I mean, there's guys I can think of now. Van Leer, Sloan, Maurice Lucas, Daryl Dawkins. He goes and hits people from behind.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't last long in the league back then. Anthony Mason, I called him Brick. He looked at me like he wanted to throw me through the bricks in the locker. How you doing, Brick? He went like this. He looked at me like, man, but he held himself back. But I swear to God, I was with Jen Patterson, Jesse, I think the whole crew. So I'm going around the locker room. I go, hey, Brick. And he went like that. And, yeah.
Yeah, really.
And I'm just telling you, Oakley. You know what Charles Oakley would do to him? And then this, no, I should have thrown. This will be next week. Were you a great coach, or did you have good fortune with the draft?
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is look at that overrated pop. You got a guy that was called the next Jabbar. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
You got a guy that was going to be generational. There's no such thing. Chamberlain, Jabbar. I'll name them. Reed. Russell. Never participated with 17, 18 losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Popovich, overrated piece of crap you are. My God, how do you lose 18 in a row for 7'5" guy? And he's not the freak that he's supposed to be. He's good. And Ralph Sampson was the first guy we ever saw that was 4-time college player of the year. That was the same damn height and had more skills, period.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm having a strong show today.
Look at this. We're getting it.
I didn't even know this was coming up. Who's this guy? Look at him. Reminds you of an old boss.
That's a great picture.
I love that picture. See, that's a picture. Eldo had a picture someone like that, and I said, this guy's for me, and I hooked up with Eldo.
That's right. We've been partners
Eldo
ever
looked
since.
like the guy, honest to God. Eldo looked like the guy in Scarface that shot Tony Montana from behind. I mean, I'll never forget that. I go, this guy, I don't think he had the goatee. You didn't have the beard. Eldo, remember that guy? Good-looking guy, no marks. Tony Montana's blowing everybody away in the mansion. You know, I mean, I really love when he's got that one thing in his head. He says, this is it. There's like 10 guys going, we got him now. And then everybody goes, fine.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, I said he came from behind. Oh, perfect. It was
Good
perfect.
stuff.
That's
Good.
what I said. Eldo looked like, oh, is this the guy? And I said, I'm going to sign this guy.
Mike, final question for you. The Bears are getting 3.5 points against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Should I bet on them covering?
Here's what I'm concerned about. I think that this guy, the coach, and you put it up, if you check it out, folks, check out North Underbar.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff that Eldo puts up. Coach Gabriel. Saw him take questions the other day. It's good to talk to a scout. And the guy, and he had a few laughs. Saw some of that. Very good. People think you don't watch the shows, do you, Mike? I watch them. Rennie Parisi told me you better watch. And so I do. Yeah, I want to watch about Devil's Talk. Okay, that's my next video. There's a hockey. I mean, I love Vinny. You know that. I love it. I'd have him to my house for pasta vagul. But who has a New Jersey Devils show in this town?
That's hilarious.
They're the best. They're all the best. And you know what? It's a great association. Thank you, buddy. Jamal, we had a good week this one. No, we had we have a guy, Brendan. Riley's 4-0. I'm 1 game above 500. Carmen's about 10 games above. So we're making money for people. Thank you, Jamal. And here I think the Bears, I just think Cleveland's defense is tough. They're 8-5. Their coach is on his 4th quarterback. And they're still winning without Chubb. He's a candidate for Coach of the Year, along with Sean Payton, who, I mean, my God, Sean Payton, we had him dead halfway through. He's the other guy. And then, my guy, maybe Flus, coming out of nowhere. Let's keep that playoff flame going, folks.
There you go, rising up out of the dead. Chris wants to know if you watch his show, The Bar Plateau Game.
I think my career's over. I agree with everything. I'm done. You know. Oh, the barf! I love it. I see it, and Ryan and them, boom, retweet immediately.
Awesome.
And Mandel, you know,
yes,
Mandel.
Joe does great work here at the network.
Joe has sat in for well, now he's with Aldo bowed out. Aldo had so much stuff going on, and Joe's done a good job with our other vehicle, which I'm proud of.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about death after I got surgery.
Right, the Aldo. Oh yeah, I know.
And the aneurysm scared the hell out of me.
I know. I wouldn't want to do it either. You know, I mean, my God, I felt like crap the other night. I'm talking about Ryan O'Neal. Right, Ryan O'Neal at the end.
Oh my goodness,
man!
Speaking of the end, what's going on with Jimmy Carter,
folks? I'm not kidding you. Aldo and I, back when I was young, and Aldo had hair. We did the Jimmy Carter obit, knowing he was in hospice. Since that time, like 25, somebody big just dies have happened, and he's like in hospice smoking a cigar, going, "Rosalind's dead." Imagine that. He's been in hospice for 9 months. I helped get the guy elected, and now I'm helping keep him alive. We got to reshoot them because somebody big just died.
Oh yeah,
he was 30 pounds heavier. I think even in that one, I said the Bears are going nowhere. Every time the Bears are going nowhere, I can't use it. Aldo's on it. Aldo looks like Aldo looks like Gene Pitney. He looks young. Looks like a teen idol. Come on.
Mike, I got news for you. It was baseball season, and you were saying the White Sox are going nowhere.
Well, we all knew that. But
it was spring training.
Yeah, but I told my brother, he's a big Cub fan, the other day. I go, let's see the genius that got hired for $8 million a year. Let's see that genius without, if they don't have Bellinger, they don't have Shohei, they're not going to have Stroman. Let's see the genius win. Let's see him win without Bellinger. Bellinger they've got to go get him. I don't care how much money you spend and how worried you are about Boros. You don't get him, you're in trouble. But then the White Sox brightened my day by picking up the effervescent and multi-talented Paul DeJong, whoever the hell he is.
Whoever you are, Paul DeJong, you're in trouble.
But shortstop. He's our shortstop.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, yeah, but at least he'll show up.
All right, everybody.
At least he won't have a mess in his private life that will keep him up with you.
How true is that?
Whatever happened to the defensive coordinator of the Bears? Do you know that was the greatest subtraction of all time?
Oh, gosh.
Ebby. I don't know what they call him, Flus or Ebby. Ebby calls the defense.
I love the way he's been calling the defense. What do you think? Do you think this guy Phil Snow, who they hired as the senior defensive analyst, you think he deserves some credit?
Oh, just hire anybody you want, Ebby. I believe in loose. Just.
I love it.
Come on, I covered my arms. How many minutes? I feel like I worked the whole day.
You have over an hour.
Yeah, baby. We give you money's worth. Raul Jewelers. Mwah!
Yeah, thank you, Raul Jewelers. Visit them at Hoffman Estates and visit their website, rawjewelers.com. For Mike North, I'm Aldo Gandia. Goodbye, everybody.